Hey, what's up, nerdies, and welcome to a Nerdy Bunch review of Arcane Season 2. My name's English Dave, and helping me calculate time jumps is my co-host, Andrew. What's up, Andrew?
What's up, David?
We're here to talk about Season 2, Act 2 of 3 of Arcane. The middle act, a lot has happened in the first act. Quick recap. Mel was kidnapped by the Black Rose. Victor is transformed into a new state, helping people healed with the Shimmer. Jinx has met a new friend, Isha, and has allied with Sevica.
The best.
Jace, Heimerdinger, and Echo have gone missing, trapped within the Wild Rune. Caitlyn and Vi, they've clashed, and Caitlyn's gone under the wing of Ambessa, who nominated her as leader, and Singed is working on something in the end credit clips we've seen. Andrew, Act 2, spoiler free, go.
Woo! Fantastic. All right, sorry, I loved it. Loved it so much. I can't wait to spoil. Like, spoiler free, go watch it. It's like that's your review. But no, the story building, character growth, beautiful animations, like weight of decisions, just the general like chaotic nature of everything that's going on. I think those are my highlights as to why I'm really enjoying the show, and just like I'm so hyped for the conclusion, because I just want to know what happens when this volcano explodes, right? Because that's the direction we're going. So the sisters watching their story as well. It's almost, I don't know why I'm shading that Star Wars show that didn't get renewed, but I actually like the story of sisters. I actually want to see them. Like, I'm happy to see and craving to see more of what they end up with, in terms of their decisions. I feel like there's some plot holes we're going to discuss, because I decided to stop being Mr. I'm always loving shows. I need to now start to, look deeply. So
Be critical.
It's not like things are perfect, but I just mean the dedication and like the quality of work is really what it is. I think the attention to detail really shines through, and yeah, that's it for me.
There's a quote, I won't say it right now, that one character says, and it's along the lines of what you love being great and the worst thing ever. And I almost think that applies to this act for me. I want to start off in a negative place so that I can finish off in a positive place. And I think my negativity comes from the fact that I think, like you said, I rate this show so highly that any little thing kind of like stands out more than it would in other things.
I was like circling, like, how could you? Come on.
It's like, I want nothing but perfection. Damn it. And so I can't help. And some of the issues I have are the same issues I had last week. There's a lot of plot and little time. And I know behind the scenes things happened, why this is a shorter series as a whole. I just think this episode kind of makes me feel even more than I did last week, in sense of there's a lot going on. And where last week's episode gave us a lot of plot, I think this week's episode skims through a lot of plot. We move very quickly through massive plot points, because we have to finish off next week, so we have to get through a lot.
Yeah, it's like come on.
yeah.
Let's go.
The plot points are great. Don't get me wrong. I love them. They're great. I just think we move things through slowly. Characters' emotions change. Where we left them before and where we left them last episode and where we leave them this episode completely changed with certain characters, where I feel like, was that earned? Do we get enough time? I understand what happens, but we don't get enough time to breathe in it because we're moving so quickly, because they have to finish in the next 3 episodes because it's the final season. And I can feel that. I can feel that rush, and like you said, I think the attention to detail makes up for a lot, because again, when this show is firing, it's firing, all cylinders. It's like, I'm in awe. My jaw's dropped. I'm like, holy shit, what's happening right now? I love this. I love every character's narrative. But I just think some characters' storylines get shortchanged because we're moving so fast. But overall, I'm still enjoying it. And I still think we're at a point where maybe certain feelings of feeling rushed may be alleviated by the time the end of the third act, and they kind of found a way to stick the landing. I'm still open to that. I don't think it's brought the show down. But let's go into full spoilers right now.
No, but I definitely agree with you, right? Just on that, like it's almost too much. It's just like I wish somehow Let's Rewind time and it's a 6 season show and they get it right
Yes,
in
exactly,
every season.
exactly.
But yeah, let's go.
Because this episode I mentioned, you helped me understand time jumps. Has it been a month, a few years, a few months, few weeks? I don't know, and I
Listen,
think that matters.
I was confused. Yeah, I saw bias. I saw that people were looking different. I'm like, wait, yeah, what's the chronology here? What happened?
Right, right. Did Caitlyn cheat on Vi with Maddie, or had time passed between their breakup? Like, was it an overlap, or was it time had passed and then she fell for Maddie? Because when I saw Maddie get in her bed, I was like, "What the hell?"
Like from where to where? Yeah, is this new? Like, is this a recent occurrence?
But I did like the opening with the kind of intro with Jinx and everyone with the
The
blue.
Jinx and the Blue, the Revolution.
Right, the
It
revolution.
just I'm a sucker for just good animation, and I think I love a show that the phrase I said to my wife, which is I feel like this is one of the best visually animated things I've watched. I mean, like top 10, top 20. Like it's just very good and very beautiful in all of the different medium. Like they
Mhm.
they switch between like watercolor to like pure animation style in like the blink of an eye. But I like how it's woven into the story, like little
Mhm.
things like when Jinx and Isha are watching the little beetles, I guess, fighting, right?
I love the fake out. I was like, "There's beasts now in this
Mhm.
show."
Exactly, right? But it's one of the reasons why, again, as a whole, I know myself. Once a show looks this good, I'm already like, yeah, whatever you do story wise, I'm fine, right? So,
I'll take it.
if anything, my complaint is more like yours, where it's like I feel like I don't know enough of what is currently happening in the world because there's so many things happening.
Mhm.
There's a Victor thing, there's Ambessa. I'm like, I want to know more. Then the Black Rose are trying to take Mel. I'm like, wait, can I breathe? And then Jace smashes this
Right?
guy, and I'm like, hold on. I'm like,
Can we slow down a bit? And that's what I'm talking about. I think again, all the stories are good, and let's go through it. We're talking about Jinx slash Powder right now, right?
yeah.
When the hell Jinx is dead? She doesn't care. When did that happen?
I was like, sorry,
Like
who? Jinx?
she seems more calm.
If you?
you know, I was just like, what? And even like Sevica's like, come on, we need you coming out to help out. And I like with Sevica where her thing is, I think she kind of feels some kind of way about the people following a person as opposed to leading themselves.
Yeah,
But
okay,
the
yeah.
people like, where it's like, okay, you've had Silco, you had Jinx, like, stand up for yourself. And everyone's like,
Yeah.
yeah, shut up, where's Jinx?
Yeah, so because she tried to do the penguin speech, right? Come on, man, no, we all need to band together. And they're like, we came here for Beyonce.
We like your new haircut, but still.
Thank you. Where's Beyonce? Oh,
And even Isha then
yeah.
taking over. And I kind of like the story with Isha where it's like Isha is acting kind of how Jinx was, but Isha doesn't have someone like Vi saying, "Hey, no, don't do that." Whereas Jinx is like, "Yeah, sure," and well, we know how that ends, right?
It's so funny because like little touches, right? Like even Jinx would never like pull Isha out of a fight. She would literally
Go
just
fight.
let her be. Yeah, like come on, but take care of her after. I feel like that's that story connection between the two of them, and then Vi coming into like almost three sister act. Honestly, just beautiful. That was-
Mhm. Though, again, I understand the ending, but do you feel Isha's sacrifice was earned?
Earned? Is that the word? Was it earned? I think yes, earned. I'm just wondering. I guess that's the thing about this kind of show, right? First of all, what's the end game here for me? Because I'm like, what is? I guess I'm just what is the aftermath of that explosion?
Because I feel like right now, again, things could change by the third one, but right now it feels like Isha is just a narrative tool for Jinx.
to go crazy, maybe.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah. Her
oh,
purpose is
my
just an
tether is
emotional
gone.
narrative tool.
Father is
Yeah.
dead forever. Now I go ham.
And that's for me. And then we've established that Vando in beast mode is not necessarily susceptible to those magic blasts.
So, uh,
So
like I
what if he
said,
survives?
but she did put two. I mean, it felt like
True.
the idea is. I feel like if you put two of those kind of energy charges up close, that's more like an energy type of thing. It's like, nah, I'm pretty sure it will do something to him, right? It made one guess, but again, I don't know. Before we become for me with the lore, I don't know more about these.
Well,
What are they
yeah.
called? The little like runes that the
Yeah,
bodyguard has.
yeah. The hex tech.
Cool. Yeah, like basically the hex text. So
Yeah.
I don't know the specifics and all, but I do feel like just in terms of energy, like come on, a point blank shot from two of those charges should at least. I mean, maybe you'll knock him out of the arena. He may be fine, but he's physically going to move. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
just gonna
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, bro, this is
Yeah,
so
yeah,
refreshing.
yeah. And let's go to Vi. All right, we open up with Vi in episode 5. She's been in the boxing arena. I love seeing that visual. I love her look.
Imagine that.
But again, it comes back to it. One, we get such a quick montage of her there. I don't know what Vi is going through emotionally, like in terms of what she's feeling outside of
I think I
sadness and
want to know.
anger. Because
Yeah.
also I feel that, again, I understand the reasons because of their surrogate father, blah 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 blah. But I feel like after everything that's happened, Jinx comes in like, hey, I need help with this with dad. Sure, let's go. I feel like it moved too quickly. There was not enough conflict there. And even if they're working together, you could work together with conflict still there, begrudgingly. I felt like we rushed way too quickly. And then by the end of it, they were like, oh, we're happy together. And even by same proxy, and I'll ask your thoughts there, Caitlyn being like, you know what, I'm going to go against Ambessa and side with Vi again. We all made up. What do you think of these relationships?
No, for sure. And just first of all, the Ambessa and Caitlyn training scene reminded me of Neo and Morpheus, The Matrix, for some reason. It was just such a cool fight scene, right?
Yeah, I love that.
And I guess I agree with you, and maybe that's not the worst. I guess that's one of the better problems to have in a story, right? It's like, I want to know more about what's
Yes.
happening. I wish I could have seen the fallout of this action, or like, okay, fine. You two sisters who've been neck and neck all this time, at least give me like, maybe let them come back in Act 3 as friends, right? Like end on kind of a cliffhanger, or make like a slow burn. That's one way to do it, right? But what I have liked is, because Jinx specifically has mentioned that Aisha has almost made us softer, essentially, right? She knows this. She said it to her herself. So I almost feel like that's kind of what's allowing the acceleration to be fine in my eye. It's like, because Jinx she's not been an aggressor to Violet at all. She's been like a sibling, right? Like she could have made things worse. I feel she was still being her old Jinx self, but yeah, I guess Jinx is really dead. But like I said, I feel like, which you mentioned, Aisha was almost brought into this story to somehow mend their sisterhood, because that's what I was expecting with Mel, because this whole thing with Mel now has a Black Rose sister, or like what is that?
Which again, that Mel storyline feels so separate from what's happening. Like it feels like it's its own seasonal focus. Yeah. Right. And I don't know how much I feel like it's going to feel the negative side of time split, because I don't know they're going to give as much time to that storyline as you're going to get to the other storylines. Like
it's impossible. It's actually not possible, because there are too many things for them to close in 3 episodes without making them each 1 hour, right?
Right. Because now you have this whole history with Ambessa and the Black Rose and illegitimate child, and is Mel the illegitimate child, or is there another one? That's why her brother was killed, because they were
That's
looking
what
for
I didn't get, but I guess that's part of the mystery, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, so, and the idea that made me lose my brain, just the whole like sibling interaction, I feel like has a greater narrative, and that's gonna prove itself in the final act, right? And I just wonder if there's still something that we're missing.
And then narratively, we also get the confirmation of the doctor. His name is Dr. Revek, and he's
Yes.
the one that created the beast, which was their father.
Warwick or Vander.
Yeah, Vanda. Well, as the beast, he's Warwick, and then he's Vanda, and then they take him to Victor, and he gets his memories back. And I loved all of that. I love seeing all of that, getting his memories back and everything like that.
Yeah.
But again, by the end of it, it seems as if, oh, okay, well, Vanda's dead now for real again. We don't really get you don't get time to spend.
And I guess is he dead? I mean, he is. Okay, I know.
Yeah, I'm assuming Vanda's dead, and then now it's just the beast left, right? Because everyone that was connected to Victor after he got shot, which I don't think Victor is dead. I think his physical body is dead.
And that's my question, because maybe I'm just reaching for the stars with hopes, because I'm like, if Victor comes back, do they all come back? That's my question. It's like a computer restarts, right? Like, oh, sorry, when I'm asleep, you're all asleep, but when I'm back,
But
we're all good.
But that's assuming Victor comes back as a
like I said,
form.
yes, if possible. But just
what
wondering,
if we only see him in corporal
like,
form, right? Because we're going into the storyline, at least is going into like celestial,
interstellar type views, which was beautiful, by the way. I just want to point out, like,
I love that. And
fantastic.
what if he stays there, right? He stays in that form and doesn't
He's
come back
like,
into physical form.
Imagine he's like, oh, okay, bye. I mean, fine, I guess.
But here's my question,
interesting.
right? With Dr. Revik, we find out that he's, he says, why am I doing this? It's for love. His daughter died. He's trying to bring her back, essentially cure death. Again,
always the excuse.
This could be answered. Might have been answered in the lore of the games, and this could be answered in Act 3. But as right now, my brain is like, how does creating a wolf-man hybrid equate into saving your daughter? I don't know. I'm not saying it's impossible.
No, it honestly felt almost like a spoof, because it's like the default excuse for some guy who's been doing shady stuff is he takes you to his basement, and then you see his daughter. Oh yeah, because my daughter alive for 300 years. Like you said, what does that have to do with anything at all? Like, what's the correlation? And he didn't explain that. And maybe there is a correlation. Maybe we'd be able to see more if it was more fleshed out between him and Victor back in the day. But again, I guess I'm almost accepting that this is a story of like, hey, take it, there you go. That's the fact, and keep moving. But a question about him, though, just while we're there, is because one thing I don't get, he dropped his blood, and Warwick, the creature, woke up, right? Warwick tracks blood, right? Is it his blood specifically, or is it all types of blood?
Dude, I had the same question, because I was like, is it his blood specifically? They don't say that, because they just say blood. Because then it's like, if it's blood, I'm sure there's been a lot of blood dropped.
Nobody is bleeding.
Not one person. Yeah, I have no idea if it's targeted to him, his blood, or just blood in
because
general.
he's the mad scientist, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if he's yes, I've engineered, like,
but then
Bane.
it's like,
but this also is strange.
But then when you go to, again, sometimes you have to kind of go to the logic place where it's like, okay, how does, like, why would you program that, like, my blood come, like, he locks himself in the room. So is it like, was he like, oh, he's going to attack me too and attack everyone here when he sees my blood, or is he coming to protect me? I wasn't quite sure.
It was just, so that was one of the, I don't know if it's a plot hole. I mean, I may call it that, but I just found it.
You see, I don't think any of my issues are not plot holes.
I'll say a hole per se.
I just think that it's missing plot, because it's like taking a car versus taking a train, right? The underground. The underground, you see nothing, but you still get to your destination, fine.
Yeah.
But taking a car, you get to see the scenic route, you get to see the environment, you see how you got there, you see how the landscape changes from maybe a town environment, a country environment, into a city. You see that slow progression as opposed to leaving a town and ending up in the country. Right? And that's how I see it, where the end of the destination is still fulfilling. You still get there, you still feel great, but you just felt like I might have missed something on the way there.
Yeah.
And I don't essentially think
that's a great analogy for that. Yeah, it's just like, I wish I could have seen that. Oh, I wanted to see that too. Oh,
right,
man.
Right. It's like, oh shit, we drove past the world's largest, bean tower. I wouldn't have seen that. I mean, don't get me wrong, my end destination is still great, but I would have loved to have seen that on the way. The world's largest potato.
That's a great way to put it, honestly.
And that's the way I see it, because you have these character moments that I'm like, well, if we'd spent more time analyzing these moments, it could have been really interesting. I wish we would have spent more time understanding how Isha really sees Jinx, right?
Totally.
And why Isha would then make this decision of sacrifice to kill herself. Because it's not like she was trying to save Jinx and accidentally kills herself. She makes this decision, I am going to kill myself and sacrifice myself. Go. And again, outside of giving Jinx a storyline to kind of be emotionally obsessed over, I don't understand why you brought that character in, because outside of the fact that they probably had a plan for a longer arc with the character, but then the season was cut short and they realized, okay, we have to get to the point quicker. That's how I feel it happens. So we still get there. She was always going to be a sacrifice. I just we know nothing about Isha. She's just that little girl that's mini Jinx. At one
That was
point,
my only thing, is that there's no like backstory at all. Like, I
know
mean,
nothing about her.
come
At
on.
one point, I
Yeah,
was like,
word.
what if Isha was just a manifestation that Jinx was creating? That's what I thought at one point. I was just like, Isha's not real. She's just making things up,
Until
the trauma of
she
everything's
picked up
happened.
that gun, and you're like, okay, no, that's a real chat.
Speaking of going back to, you talked about Vanda and the blood. I love the POV shots of him just like running
Oh, the red eyes just like hit the lines.
and just like slashing at people,
Mhm.
savagery slashing at people. I was like, damn. Ooh. Even when he fights Jinx,
So
I
I was
was
gonna
worried for
mention that
Jinx.
fight. Listen, I guess I have to rate her higher now whenever I see fighters, because a couple of times, even when she fought the bodyguard, I was a little worried about how things were going to turn out. But she
Yes,
she
yes.
has moves. I give it to her. She fights hard for her weight class. She's definitely a top. I like that she's a skilled opponent, right? It's not necessarily just fight. It's not like fighting, like a fighting style, right? It's just all that she is encompasses her in being a good warrior. But yeah, the scene with Warwick was just fantastic.
Also, I like the reminder when you see her eyes glow that she's infused with the shimmer. So she gets the extra, that when she does the kind of
A
like
little speed.
speed ramps, like
Cyberpunk.
yeah, I love
Cyberpunk.
that. I love those moments.
So good.
And then yeah, I even liked I think his name was Richter, the bodyguard.
Yes.
I liked when she shot
I like how
at
he's from the
him
bodyguard.
and he was just like block.
No,
I was
so
like,
that scene,
yeah.
because I went back on that scene and it was so good, because I think he looked as soon as the glass broke. She shot and I think it hit the glass. He caught that. He blocked. Then she appeared. Literally, I was in the
Brilliant.
in the home cinema clapping. Right, just
And
fantastic views.
and it makes sense because you notice that stuff he has earlier on, he was kind of cleaning it up. There's runes on it. And it makes sense why last act, he was able to break free of the Black Rose, right? Because that's a magical staff he had. He smashes
And
it
I
down.
were wondering
Yeah.
exactly.
So I like that. I liked, oh man, when he was beating on one of the rebels, just grabs her, the blue hair. I was like, oh, damn. Just like smacking on her. But then he got his comeuppance because Vanda just ravished him. Just destroyed
And so satisfying, right? Like so
Just-
satisfying.
I wish we saw the Vanda versus Ambessa fight, because he goes to attack her and then it cuts and
I
then they
linked
tell
that
she's
thing
alive.
to my wife, and I guess he slashed her and then just kept going. I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
I
Like,
don't know what
I don't think
happened
it was a fight.
there. Yeah.
Because I don't think she survives unless. Anyways, yeah, I assume that he just ran past her and kept on slashing, because we see bodies everywhere, right? So,
She just survived because the plot said so. There's some plot
which, you know
armor
what,
for her.
maybe he does actually trace his blood, because again, there's blood everywhere. So that's why the blood thing is a little confusing to me.
Yeah. Because he'd be
And I hope maybe
confused.
they touch on it. Yeah, exactly. Like, whoa, whoa.
Everywhere, overwhelmed. It's like putting a kid in a candy store and it just like,
Just like, look.
I don't know. Which one do I pick? Do you think, again, this is why I'm talking about time passing, right? Because the whole narrative with Maddie and Kate, is that going anywhere? At first I thought maybe Ambessa is the one that made it happen so that Maddie can be a spy or manipulate Kate through Maddie, because Ambessa even says, "Oh, seeing you here again." But I don't know if that's just a comment on, "Oh, you're hanging out all the time."
Yeah.
But is that anything? Because now Kate and Vi seem to be cool again. I don't know if they're cool back into relationship again. but they seem cool.
And like you said, it's almost like you said with the cheating. Like, wait, what's the order? Like, have you always been with Vi? Did you like when did this happen? But it would be funny if she was a plan from Ambessa, but I don't think so. I don't think so, but that's interesting, right? I kind of don't think I don't think it's gonna go anywhere, just because I'm just feeling like they have a lot they have to close in this final 3 episodes, right? And I will stand to be corrected.
I like the idea that Ambessa was trying to recruit the Doctor to make more beasts for her. Of course, she would do that. Yeah. That makes complete sense.
Like
and then
General Ross, Incredible Hulk, like same vibes. Like, oh yeah.
She was trying to work with the Hex Tech, the poor goat man. I feel like he could have been more scared, or maybe he didn't know what was going to happen.
He was like, but I guess it was like a whatever. Like if it happens, it happens.
All right, here's a question. What do you think happened to Jace where he's just like, everybody with this magic stuff needs to be killed? Ah!
So I'm so happy you brought that up.
Do you think that's him, or do you think someone is controlling him?
2 points. Not him, because Victor said something of the like, that there's something in him. Like Victor specifically mentioned that to his inside head AI. So that's definitely the first reason. The second reason is Echo and Heimdinger Ringer. Where are they?
I just call him Jaime.
Jaime. Didn't they all get transported into the ruin?
That is the question. Where are the others? That is I'm sure we will find out, but that is the question.
Because that's maybe my answer to the question. You know, maybe they both got killed somehow. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I believe that they're not alive, but my question was just, yes, what takes somebody from there, and maybe something might have possessed him is my second guess. And he's not being himself, because the way he killed the dude who just got his legs back.
Oh, Sallow.
It's like
just that visual or just the blood splat. Damn. I think this makes more sense though, like you said, like it's alluding to, if it's not Jace himself and he's been taken over, because if you have some kind of evil entity that's just like killing everyone for reasons, that makes complete sense. Anything else we ever spoken about? Any fun moments you like?
So just some of the highlights with fights, and you can just talk through some of them. When Vi caught Ambessa, I thought that was just a fantastic scene, right? Yeah. Just like the look of shock on Ambessa's face, slow-mo, just everything. I was just like, yeah, girl, you get it.
I liked when the soldier was just like, you're not Jinx.
Yeah. Exactly. What was it about her trousers? Half eaten something trousers, and she was so mad about that after. Oh my goodness.
I love that. She goes, a master criminal wouldn't wear pants like that.
Yes.
I like the moment. Again, it was a nice sister moment though. But again, it's a nice moment, you know, between Vi and Powder arguing who would win in a fight. As sisters, you know. But that feels like very like fun, like haha, I'll beat you in a fight. You know, Powder calls her fat hands because she's like, you wouldn't win without those hands. She takes the gloves off, like, I'll fight you.
Yeah.
And that seems like fun, more on the lines of fun banter between siblings. But I'm like,
sibling banter, yeah.
But it's like, you're going to also ignore the fact that both of you have, like, there's a lot that's happened because of you guys, but you're just going to ignore that and just have like banter. You know, I like the banter, but it's kind of, I felt like it undervalued.
Too soon. Like too soon.
Yeah.
Too soon.
Yeah. It's like way too soon. Like, what's going on? I like the line, and I wish we'd spent more. I feel like a longer season would have shown us with Kate seeing, like, because, you know, Kate goes hard. She's like, we're going to do whatever it takes to flush these people out. You know, last episode,
I need
to flush the gas, all that kind of stuff. And then this episode, she says, why is peace always a justification for violence to Ambessa? And I wish we'd spent time with her slowly realizing, oh shit, this is what have I done? Like Oppenheimer stuff.
Yeah.
But we didn't see that. It just jumped from I'm doing it to wait, we shouldn't do it anymore.
Yeah. I'm sorry, change my mind. Oops.
Like, I wish we could see her seeing the cause of her actions and be like,
Mm-hmm.
fuck, people are being hurt, this and that. We can assume that, but I wish we saw that, especially for her saying that line, and I even like when, and again, I said I feel like this is the theme of maybe the entire show. That which inspired us to do our greatest good is also the cause of our greatest evil. Victor.
This is a super line. Super
Great
line.
line. Great line. Also, again, things I want to see. I wish we spent more time in the past seeing Vi and Powder's mum with
Yeah.
with
Vanda
Vanda and Silco, and that they were all friends.
and
Like,
Silco, young Silco, like a
right?
young Leverage team for anybody who watched Leverage.
And you almost understand that, the parents' generation, these young generation are going through exactly the same thing as parents. They were close, they were friends, and then certain things happen where they split apart, different ideologies. I'd love to see that storyline. When because we find later, Vanda had written a letter to Silco of apology, things like that. Like,
Just pause on that exact point. I'm waiting. Where was that letter exactly?
Where did they find it?
Because it felt like it was just waiting to be found. I couldn't. I went back a bit. It was just like, oh yeah, we found this letter that he wrote. Like, wait, he left the letter on the table. It's been there since. This is a slight nitpick, not even like a detailed thing. But my wife mentioned that she was like, oh, where did he find the letter? And I was like, oh, I don't know. And I rewound, and it just was like oh, look, David had this letter to me right here. It's like, okay. I mean,
again, I think that's
we'll allow it. We'll allow it.
But I think again, that's another symptom of rushed storytelling, right? They might have filmed it, they might have had the scene, and they're like, we got to cut it out. We don't know. And I think, again, I just think it speaks to the fact that all these little things are they are just that, little things, but they amount, and you can't ignore them. They don't ruin the overall experience, but you can't ignore it either.
For sure.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right. Any other moments we haven't spoken about that you enjoyed? Small moments. I'm trying to look at my notes.
Just again, the scenes with Mel. I don't want Mel to not be discussed enough here. Black queens deserve the shine, and I love the scene with the Black Rose, baiting, tying her down basically.
Oh, like the chains.
And the Wonder Woman glow, and I was just like, yeah, that's it. That's it right there. I like that. And again, I feel like we're becoming repetitive by saying I wish I could see more into it. Like I want to see a whole show about just her and her lineage and all of that. And I'm worried that they might not be able to show enough, but I definitely know they're going to feature her. I mean, she's definitely a main character for reasons. And I'm just super curious as to what happens next basically with her and her brother is definitely gone, obviously. What is the story? Like, what is this connection that her mother has to the world that is making this Black Rose? Who is this Black Rose? Where did the rose come from? Like
who is Rose?
Exactly. That's what my brain is doing. Like, wait. First of all, who is Rose?
I did like when she figures out that that's not her brother, and she's slamming the face on the wall, and the face is changing.
Changing to 4 different faces. People she's seeing.
Again, animation beautiful. Even the moment where when Isha does a sacrifice, she sees the memory flashbacks of her and Jinx, but done through like children's crayons and colorings. I thought that was really well done. But again, we get quick exposition to be like, oh, by the way, this is their relationship. If you didn't know, so
it's like footnotes. It's like we're getting footnotes about us to everything because there's so much. I just want. I don't know.
But again, for me, this just means the difference between 9 out of 10 and 10 out of 10. It's that kind of, and for me, though, that's the difference, right? When you talk about something going from amazing to masterful, the difference is in the small details.
Yeah.
The larger things can be similar, and that's the difference between it's like, oh, it's 9.5 out of 10 instead of 10 out of 10 if they just got those little things. And I understand the context, in doing this, we kind of follow the production of these things. There's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes, those delays and all that kind of stuff. I get it. It's not criticism against the storytellers. It's just, I wish I saw more, and I wish they'd give us more, and I wish they could give us more, because sometimes they just can't, right? They do as much as they can.
Nothing more to give.
And I think, the best kind of critique you can get from fans is we wanted more.
Yeah.
I feel, and I think
It is.
and a lot of our issues. I don't think all, but I think a lot of our issues could be fixed by next episode, by next act.
Yes, or at least some of the
major
things that
stuff.
we didn't see could be filled in, right? Some of the grays could be colored in. But I guess I'm still going to, like I said, rate it extremely highly.
Oh yeah,
just
still one of the best.
Everything coming together is just fantastic, and I don't want to forget to also mention very small thing, but I really enjoyed when Caitlin took down Vi. Funny that I call her V and Vi sometimes. Not sure which. When Caitlin took down Vi.
It's just remember it because it's violet, so it's Vi.
Yeah. So V.
Violet.
So when Caitlin took down Vi when she came up to her, it reminded me of the Sherlock Holmes RDJ movies. You know how you'd be like left earlobe. Because she was like, and I was like, yo, Vi, don't get taken down like that, girl. Come on, like wow. So I feel like I love how they just kind of remind us that like Caitlin is actually like, because Vi is a great fighter, right?
Yeah.
And she got taken on like that, like whoa, that's actually a statement, right? Like Caitlin should not be messed. And I think even Ambessa said it when she was talking to her, like, Caitlin does not back down, right?
Yeah,
so I just felt like Caitlin, she almost needs some respect on her name because she actually is a boss.
What do you nerdies think of this act? What do you think of this show so far? And where do you think Act 3 will leave us? Find us on social media at The Nerdy Bunch. You can also find us an email, thenerdybunchpodcast@gmail.com. Wherever you're viewing or listening to this, whatever platform, give us a like, thumbs up, or 5-star rating. Yes, I said 5.
Yes, you're a good lad.
We really appreciate it. It helps us get recognition. Check out our other podcasts. We just finished Agatha All Along, as well as The Penguin. And upcoming, on top of this, we have Dune, Prophecy, as well as Silo Season 2. So check all of those out. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, David.
My name's English Dave. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention last week we couldn't think of the word for shimmer. So I'm just reminding that it was shimmer. We were trying to remember, like, what is that liquid thingy?
What is that?
What is that thing?
What is that thing these kids are doing these days?
Yeah, right. And as always, Andrew,
keep it nerdy.
Peace.